What is going on, everybody? It is time for some paint. Okay, so we've got the entire garage cleaned out. I'm about to start laying some tarp on the ground. We're pulling the front bumper off, masked off the windows. There are a couple more spots we need to sand. We're gonna take the back bumper off, and then it's just taping over places we don't want paint. So we're gonna cover my exhaust tips. I'm not covering anything underneath the truck, just solely because I plan on painting the frame and I plan on painting the suspension. So there's no point in me covering everything if it's getting painted in the future anyways. We're mainly just covering windows. I'll throw some tape over the third brake light. I'm not covering the roof at all because I'm gonna paint it later. I have to actually paint it outside, which I'm not happy about, but you know, you work with what you got. I got a garage. This truck's got 11 inches of lift. I'm surprised it even fits, but luckily with the tires aired down on these 31s, it fit. We're gonna tape off our handle and we're gonna tape off the inside of the cab because I am going to paint the door jambs. We're already torn down this far. We might as well just go ahead and do it now, because if I don't do it now, I'm gonna regret it. Just solely for the fact of, you gotta take door panels off and everything to do door jambs. I already have them all off, why not do it now? And then we're gonna cover our engine bay because the hood is already done back there. So we're getting really close, guys. Once this bumper's off, I can mask off and cover the entire hood and then get it pulled into the garage. It's almost time. It's almost time. We're getting really, really close. If you guys have missed the last couple of videos, go check them out. We painted a tailgate, which I don't have outside right now. It's actually inside. We painted the tailgate the first video. That's when I revealed the color. Last video we painted the hood. Oh, the video after the tailgate we painted the hood. And then we did some body work. Got the entire truck prepped. Got all the dents filled. Just got everything done around the whole truck. Every little blemish we got filled. We sanded down all the rock chips, everything. And I was able to prove to you guys that the rocker repair I did is still holding up perfectly fine. So it's great to see it. It is great to see it. So we're almost there. I just want to fill you guys in if you missed everything. This should be the last, well, probably not the last. We'll still have to wet sand and buff the paint, but this is gonna be one of the last episodes of getting this truck painted. I'm super excited. This is gonna look absolutely sick. If you guys haven't already, please go down, hit the subscribe button, drop a like on this video. Join the following of doing stuff your own and not paying shops to do things for you. All right, it's been a good hour or two since I picked y'all up. We got front bumper off, we got the back bumper off. Brandon's getting the bed supports off. Got that all sanded. Just have to sand right here. We got one window taped off, and then the wind was fighting us, so we're just gonna do that inside the garage. Garage is completely cleaned out. So before we pull this in, I'm gonna get some tarp down on the ground so we don't have any more of this. Really, I don't think I'm gonna cover the walls. If the walls get paint on them, they get paint on them. I'm renting here, so because I'm not gonna be able to cover every crease and every corner of everything. So I mean, if there's purple up here, they're gonna notice it. So my plan is to not bother with the walls, and if they get paint on them, I'll just repaint the whole room. I mean, it'll take a gallon or two of paint, like 20, 30 bucks of paint, and we can have the whole garage repainted, and they'll never know that I painted a truck in here. So guys, prep sucks. We've been doing this for well over 24 hours now, but truck's almost done. We got a couple more spots of sand and then tape off, wipe everything down, and it's ready to shoot. So we're getting really close, really excited, trying to get it all done. My buddy Brandon drove 3 hours up here, drove up here Friday night. It's now Sunday. He helped me all day yesterday until 1 a.m. basically this morning, and now it's lunchtime on Sunday and he's still here helping me. I'm hoping I can get it shot before he leaves so he can see the finished product in person. But I'm trying, guys, I'm trying. And real quick, I normally record everything I do, but since we're on such a time crunch, I mean, it is 1:04. It's 1:04. He's got to drive 3 hours back home today. So that's why I'm not really recording everything, because I'm trying to get it all done. So one, he can see it. Two, so I can get it finished while I have extra help here. And three, because I'm tired of doing this, to be completely honest. Real quick, I want to say the biggest thank you to my friend Brandon. You guys go follow him. All of his Instagram right here. But this man came up here, drove 3 hours up here to help me. Help me for a good 12, 11, 13, somewhere in there hours yesterday getting this whole truck prepped. And helped me another good 8 hours today prepping it and taping everything off. And he never even got to see the truck get sprayed. We still haven't sprayed it. It is now almost 7 o'clock. He's got to drive 3 hours back home. I am whooped, guys, from being in the sun all day, doing this until 1 a.m. this morning from yesterday. I'm beat, and he's got to drive home. But I just want to say a huge appreciation to him. You guys know when I wrapped the truck last time, I got a little bit of help from him and my buddy Justin, but a lot of it I did do myself. This time I cannot say at all that I did this truck by myself. Yes, I'll probably be spraying it by myself, but this man put in hours and hours of work just helping me, just being a friend. So huge shout out to him. You guys go follow him. We're about to be lifting his 2000, I think it's a 15 LTZ. He's got some Calis for it on some 35s. I won't tell you guys the size of the wheel, but I'm gonna be lifting that here real soon on the channel. So if you guys haven't already, go follow him. I'm gonna take a break for the next like 2 days. So I'm gonna edit some videos for you guys. I got 2 videos already recorded for you guys. I'm gonna giveaway recorded. The giveaway is already live by the time you guys are seeing this, but I'm gonna take a break. I'll catch y'all like 3-4 days from now. All right, everybody, it is 3 days later. Last time you guys saw me, it was Sunday. It's now Wednesday. Peep the new look. But now it's time to finish prepping the truck. So you guys see all the spots where we did body work all the way around it. I have to blow all of the dust off of this, wipe it down, and I have to prime those spots. Now, some people have commented, why am I using rattle can primer versus priming out of a gun? They asked if it's a cost issue. Yes and no. Could I afford it? Yes. Is it cheaper and easier to just prime certain spots? Yes. From what research I've done with painting, because I've never painted before in my life, before this project I started, I've seen a lot of body dyes. If the paint is good on a vehicle, they'll just prime places where they did body work or they sanded down to the metal. They'll just prime those spots and then sand everything in total, because if the paint on the vehicle is still good, it's not flaking off or anything like that, you can use that as a paintable surface as long as it's sanded, because the paint will adhere to that. And that's kind of the route I've just been going, because spending another $100, $200 on primer or seal or anything like that really isn't in the budget. What a lot of people don't understand is YouTubers don't make a lot of money. Me being just over 7,000 subscribers, I don't make a lot of money off YouTube. So I can tell you now, I've already spent more on this paint job and supplies. Everything I've spent is almost double what I make a month off YouTube. So I've spent basically 2 months of YouTube's pay to make this build series videos. That's why so many YouTubers and myself always say to you guys, drop a like on the video and hit the subscribe button, because that's what helps us grow. That's what helps us make more money. We put in hours upon hours upon hours upon hours and dollars upon dollars upon dollars upon dollars making these videos for you guys, and it doesn't cost you anything to hit the like button or hit the subscribe button. That's why we stress about it so much, is to just hit that button for us, because it really does make a big difference. But I'm gonna stop with this rant. We're gonna get this all cleaned off and prime our certain areas, and then I'm gonna close this video out, because I want painting to be its completely separate own video. First problem I've ran into is this seal not wanting to stay. So when I was blowing everything off up here, I was blowing this tape back, and now when I'm trying to retape it, the seal is wanting to fall down. So everything in here I'm just going to have to wipe off completely by hand, blow all of this off, and then this side of the truck will be done. Now, I think I told you guys already, but I don't remember because it's been days now, but I'm not painting the roof in the garage. I'm actually going to try and paint it in the driveway, just because I can't get enough room up top to paint it. So I'm kind of wondering if I should either paint it to match the truck or if I should wrap it gloss black. I say gloss black because you guys remember the tailgate bezel that went around the handle. I'm replacing it with a gloss black bezel. I'm replacing the door handles with gloss black handles. So I'm wondering if I wrap the roof gloss black, if it would kind of tie in with those little features. Because I'm worried about painting it in the driveway. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. If I paint it in the driveway, not only do I have to worry about overspray on other people's vehicles, my other vehicles, I have to also worry about stuff getting into it and things like that. So it might just be easier just to wrap it in the driveway. It's kind of like a hack job, like paint the whole truck and then wrap the roof in the driveway. Just doesn't seem right, but when you're working with what you got, you work with what you got. So sucks, but it might be how it is. Okay, now we've got our primer. The entire truck is wiped down. Everything. Now the only thing I see being a problem is around these seals on the door. You can't really get the tape up underneath the seal, and it worries me that it's going to show in the paint where there's going to be a very, very, very small, like, millimeter line of where the tape line and the new paint meet. That's what worries me. But when we were taping this off, we looked up online on removing these seals, and apparently it's a pain to do, and after you remove them you have to replace them. And if you guys, you know, have been living under a rock, getting stuff shipped is almost impossible. Like, as terrible as that sounds, getting anything ordered online and shipped to you is like virtually impossible. I've been waiting over 3 weeks now for my rim and tire setup. Anything you order online is taking weeks to months to get, if they even have it. So many things are on back order. Yeah, so many things are taking weeks upon weeks upon weeks to get, if it's even in stock. A lot of the things people are ordering online aren't even in stock, so they can't even get it until it's remanufactured, and that's taking forever thanks to everything going on in the country right now. So I'm gonna try and get the tape lines on all the seals as close as I can. There's a very thin line. It sucks, but that's how it's gonna have to be. I want this to be perfect, but we are painting the truck in the garage. First time painter, first time ever doing serious body work like this. I mean, I've repaired rocker panels and filled tailgate holes, things like that, but never done an entire truck. Now I've got some nice lines on my face, but I'm tired of inhaling paint, guys. So just being safe with it. All the spots are primed. I'm completely out of primer now. So I'm gonna let this sit for a couple hours, and then I'm gonna come out and sand it with 600. Then the truck will be ready for paint. I'm gonna sand the entire truck with 600, not just the spots that I primered, but the entire truck is going to get 600 grit, and then we should be good. One thing I wanna cover real quick. If you guys have seen, I haven't taped any of this off. That's because this handle is broke. And when you buy them, they come in sets of 2, so there's no point in replacing it or taping off the other one. So I'll just replace both of them. And with this, I mean, if you guys have ever messed with this, there's a plate on the back side. So if you unbolt this and take this off, that plate falls down and you have to reach all the way in the door to even get it out. It's a headache. So I figured it'd just be easier to paint it. I taped off all the VIN numbers and everything like that. And I sprayed rust reformer along the bottom where there was some surface rust thanks to the wrap. We sprayed the door handles where the mirrors go, sprayed all the wheel wells. Now I'm not taping off anything under the truck. If you guys missed when I said that in an earlier video or beginning of this video, I don't really remember, I am going to be painting the entire suspension. So there's no point in taping everything off underneath there just to paint it later on. Now there's gonna be some people that have commented on videos in the past saying, oh, even if I was gonna drive the car to the junkyard, I would still tape it off underneath. Oh, well, that's cool for you. Well, it's my truck, so I can pick and choose when I wanna do things a certain way. But I'm not gonna waste time taping off everything underneath. If it gets overspray on it, it gets overspray on it. I have to sand everything down anyways. So what difference does it make rather than sanding rust and dirt and everything off versus sanding paint, rust and dirt off? It's not gonna make a difference. The entire frame has bed liner on it from when I did that 2+ years ago. So I have to sand all that down anyways because I'm painting the frame and I'm painting the suspension. So it doesn't make much of a difference, but everything that I didn't want paint on is taped off. If it's got paint on it, it's because I didn't care that it was there. Like this entire door right here, I'm only painting the outside of it. The door panel covers all of that. We did this way just because there's a window in there and there's electricals and everything in there. This, we taped off our speaker, we taped off our door handle, and we taped off our window. Besides that, it doesn't matter if anything else gets paint on it. It really doesn't matter. So just give you guys a little update on what's going on. I'm gonna let this dry for probably a good two hours and then come outside with my DA, some 600 grit, let's sand the entire truck down, make sure it is very, very smooth. And then the next video you guys will see will be painting. So I'll catch you guys in a little bit when this primer dries. All right, next day, the entire truck is now dry and it is time to sand it down. I went ahead and blew out the bed. I know I'm not gonna get everything out. Probably should have like pressure washed this bed before I did this, but what it is now is better than what it was before. As I know this truck is not gonna turn out absolutely perfect. This is not gonna be a showroom quality paint job just because of the fact it's done in a garage. It's not done in a paint booth. It's not done in a pristine environment. It's done in a garage with the door cracked and dust and dirt everywhere. On top of the garage door, on top of the lights. There's gonna be blemishes in this paint job, 100%. I'm not gonna be surprised whatsoever, but it is going to look better than what the wrap looked like in my opinion. So, let's get to sanding with 600 grit, get this truck wiped down, and get some color on it. So I was done a DA the whole truck, but the primer was clumping up on the pad, causing it not to actually sand it like that. And I could use the DA to wet sand it, but that really just makes a mess. I learned that with the hood. So I'm wet sanding it all by hand, so I'll have to wipe all of this off. I'm not doing the door jambs or anything like that just because honestly they don't really matter too much as long as the paint lays on it. That's all I care about. I did the top of the rocker, like the footwell right here, just because that's going to be where your eye catches anytime you open the truck, but anywhere else, as long as the paint lays on it, that's all that matters. I'm gonna wet sand the outside of the panels. I'm not doing the bottom of the rocker panel just because honestly if it has texture, that's probably a better thing, just because that's going to get so many rock chips now. It's not gonna be protected by vinyl or anything like that. So I imagine there's gonna be quite a few rock chips. And then we're gonna wet sand this whole side. I'm wet sanding with 400, and then gonna wipe it down after that. Wish myself the best of luck here. This is the biggest project I've done. I'm very, very, very nervous. Like the wrap, it was kind of like, oh, if I mess up the wrap, let us take it off. Like, I mess this up, it's gonna create a lot of time of sanding. So here's the last good look at the truck before it is officially purple. So let's get right into it. You guys have already seen me mix the paint and everything. This is our new gun. I'll be using this, but we've got our paint, we've got our hardener, we've got our mixing cups, got our disposable cups down here. We've got everything. So nothing to it but to do it now. Alright guys, first coat is on, and unfortunately I have to leave it like this because I have to wet sand some runs out of the first coat. So I don't know if there's any just right here. I don't see any on this side actually, which is surprising. There we go, there's a run there. Let's make our way around the truck. Open this door up. Okay, there's another run right in there. Anywhere else? Anywhere else? Yep, there's a run right there. Another little one right there. Little one right there. There's one on the edge of this right here. Couple little ones right there. And there's more on the other side. Wasp. About to get hit. About to get hit, fam. Let's stay away from the truck. You about to get hit. Bitch. 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 Got it. Fucker. How are you still twitching? Alright, but now that I've killed a wasp, the whole reason this has runs in it is because of this right here. That right there is the tip size. and I did not look at that when I bought it. I thought it said 1.4, which would have been perfect. 1.7 is meant for clear coat. Just worked with what I got, I guess. So now I'm gonna let this dry for the rest of the day, and tomorrow come out and wet sand it. If you can't hear, my feet are sticking to the ground. But there's also around there, that's one of the worst ones. And I know the absolute worst ones are these right here. So I don't know if, since the tip was too big, I put it on too thick, and I was supposed to do it kind of like a dust coat since the tip was so big. But you live and you learn. So now this will sit for the next 24 hours, and I'll come out and wet sand it, get some of those runs out, and then throw another coat on top of it and be done. For whatever reason, my camera just like completely stopped recording. But this is sat for well over 24 hours. It is time to get to sanding on it. So we've got a couple runs right here. This is one of the worst spots. There's a run on the side of this fender. There's a run right here on the door. Things like in here where there's like a run right here. I'm not worried about this. The mirror's gonna be right here. I don't think there's any more on the outside of this door. There's a little run right here. Not worried about that. It's in the door jamb. Same goes for right here. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. Now, like this right here, not worried about it. And anywhere where it's not like a big surface area, I am not worried about. I'm more worried about areas like this, like this. We've got a spot on this door, like right here. There's like some fuzz or something in it, right there. And then we got another run. All this is looking good. We got a couple little drips right here that we had to fix. We're all good down here, which is surprising because on this side, that is one of the worst spots on the entire truck. Right there. It's nothing but runs, all right there. Like this entire panel just needs to be sanded. So we're gonna sand the spots where there's a heavy run with some 400 grit on a paint stick. You just wrap it up on the end of the paint stick and sand it down until it's smooth. Then work your way up to like 1,000. And then since I'm gonna be spraying this again, if you say you did your first coat, let's just say for instance you're painting single stage like me. You did your first coat, you didn't have a problem. You did your second coat, and you got to run. You would sand it down smooth, go all the way up to like 2,000, 2,500 grit, and then polish it out and you'd be fine. Since this was my first coat, I stopped. I'm gonna sand it down and then I'm gonna paint the whole truck again. So hopefully by the end of today, the entire truck will be painted, and then I'll do a full reveal in an upcoming video for you guys, but at least you guys are seeing the truck getting painted in this video. All right, and just like that, the entire truck is sanded down. Not like the entire truck, but all the runs, the waves, sanded it all down. So like we have the heavy waves right here. I sanded that all down. It's now perfectly smooth. And I said I'm gonna put another coat over it. So we had a run down here. We had a couple over in here. God, just look at that. Look at that color, guys. That is insane. Added some blemishes all around here. I did sand down this footwell in here. So we had a bad run all the way across here, and we had some really bad ones in here. I mean, like this was huge. So I went ahead and sanded it just because, you know, I'm already doing this. I might as well try and do it as right as possible. I mean, like doing it the perfect way would be taking these doors off, painting the door jambs. So like you guys can tell, like these door jambs are not perfect by no means, but it's better than if I wouldn't have painted them. And then over on this side, so this little line right here is actually underneath the paint, but I sanded it smooth, and for whatever reason, it is still like perfectly smooth right now, and you can like still see it. It was from the rust reformer because this had surface rust on it that I sanded down and sprayed rust reformer on it so it wouldn't grow anymore, and it ran, and I sanded it down for whatever reason, it like showed up through it. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like a run in the paint, and it's not. So I'm hoping once we get the second layer on, and this thing gets sanded and compound and polished and everything, that doesn't show up. If so, I mean, it sucks, but it will be there. And this is one of our worst runs. We got taken care of here. Had some waves in this, sanded all of that down. And this side is completely done. So if we walk around over here, I will say the driver's side was the worst. So we had some drips hanging right here, got those off. And then down here was the absolute worst. Got all of that. Had some more waves right here. I sanded that down. Had a drip right here sanded. That's not bare metal. That is the base coat of the original color of the truck. And I closed the fuel door just because I already sprayed some in here. I mean, it's not perfect, but there's some color in there. So I'm just gonna leave this shut. That way I can get good coverage on the back side. And then we had some runs right here. Got those sanded down. Didn't really have anything over here. If I remember, there's not really anything on this door. There is a bare spot on this door though, from trying to paint the inside and outside at the same time. Got all this nice bare spot right there. So let's go around. I'm gonna paint the inside first. Get this over with first. Get everything sprayed as much as I can. And then I'm gonna shut these doors. So I'm mainly worried about getting right here, right up here, and then the visible spots of the doors. Then we will get these shut, kind of just like that. As shut as possible, I guess you could say. Just like that, and then we have another, that's primer, that is not bare metal. Let it run there. And notice we didn't get really good coverage up here, so it's kind of spotty. Gotta make sure we do better the next time. And then had a little blemish here. Another one of the really bad runs area. Seems like here on both sides had really bad runs. So I need to do better with that. And then we got this run right here taken care of. And you can still see the outline of the run, but I promise you guys it is perfectly smooth. Now, real quick, like I said in future video when I did the tailgate, normally I show a finished product at the end of my videos. But now that I'm trying to pump out more videos, it's kind of just wherever the video ends. I think I said earlier in this video I was going to do painting in a complete separate video, but then I kind of realized this video wasn't that long. So I went ahead and just painted in this video. You guys got to see me mess up. You guys got to see me somewhat fix it. Now the next video, I'm going to completely spray the truck. I don't think I can spray it today. It's very overcast and super humid. It is very humid outside today. And I don't want to just go through all this work of sanding just to hurry up and spray and have some type of reaction with humidity in the air. So I'm going to let this completely dry because I did wet sand the entire truck. So there is water and some crevices and things like that. I'm going to completely let this dry overnight, and I'm going to pick up a new video tomorrow of the final spray of the truck, and then I'm going to let it sit for like 2 days in the garage. I'm going to spray it and then it's going to sit. So I'm going to do one more coat on this. You guys know I did one coat and I had to sand all these little areas. I'm going to do one more full coat on this. I'm going to do it a lot lighter than I did this one. I think I did this one way too heavy, and that's why we had the runs. And I'm using the wrong tip size, so we have more product coming out. Just mess up all around, but hey, first time painter here, and for never painting anything in my life, I think this looks sick. I think it turned out great, and I'm very, very happy with the way this turned out. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far in the video, please drop a like on this video. Go down, hit the subscribe button. Oh, this is going to be awesome, guys. You're going to want to follow this, because after we get this painted and we get it pulled out, pulling the whole suspension off, and I've got a color up my sleeve. I asked you guys what color you guys think I should do. A lot of you guys said white, some of you guys said orange, some said yellow, a lot of you guys said neon green. Well, I found something that I think hits perfectly, but I'm gonna need you guys to smash that subscribe button, because it is not a cheap paint, but it's gonna look sick. So go down, hit the subscribe button, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Remember, you can do all this yourself. That's the whole reason in all of everything I do. Have a good one, guys. See ya.